Hello, everybody, and welcome to our last and final day and lesson of social studies class for 8th grade. After today, you're done with US history for 8th grade, and after this week, you're done with 8th grade altogether. So I know this has been a kind of weird and potentially challenging time for school. So for some people, it's worked well. For some people, it's been harder. But I just wanted to shout out all of you for making sure to just be doing your best and hanging in there in this really rough and, again, historic time. Thinking as historians, this is going to be a major moment in world history that's going to shape the future. And remembering in our current events assignments how being an active and engaged part of this process is really an important thing. And in the spirit of that, today, in our last day, this is going to be kind of a reflection day where we think back on what it is that we and you personally have learned in the 8th grade US history for social studies class. Kind of think about like what stood out to you the most, or kind of like the major like lessons or themes, and kind of put it all together to set a goal for the future. And the way we're going to do that is by kind of looking at some cool quotes that I think are some of my more favorite quotes from historical figures or historians about the importance of history in our lives. And of course, you're going to kind of apply this to your own future. Because a lot of people ask me kind of like, well, Mister, what am I actually going to have to know this information for? And social studies and history is a little tricky that way because sometimes people have this idea that you only have to like memorize the information of the past. You only have to know people's names, dates, locations, kind of like the trivia of history. And the truth is the trivia of history is not really going to be super important in your life every day in the future. But the importance of history is how we kind of take the lessons of what happened in the past and apply them to the world that we live in now. That we kind of can see how did people do things in the past? What were people's problems? What were the kind of like impacts of how things worked out? And we use that information so that we can make better decisions in the world now. You're better informed if you know history. So that's what we're going to kind of look at today, is applying the lessons of history to our own lives in the future. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully it's a little bit easier, a little bit shorter, and an opportunity for you just to kind of think about your own life. And I would definitely encourage you to kind of be in that reflective mind state of like, what can we do in the future as, creators and drivers of history right now? Because what will be history in the future is the decisions and actions we make in the world right now. And the future and our own choices really, really matter. So hopefully by the end of this lesson, you feel empowered, inspired that what you do matters and that your actions really can have a meaningful impact in creating the world and the future for the better. So our aim really quick is that historians will be able to synthesize their learning in 8th grade social studies in order to set a personal goal for the future. So again, this lesson is mostly just going to be some shorter readings, a couple videos, but hopefully it's a little bit easier and shorter for you. And again, I really wish we were all together in person, that we could, actually talk and wrap up the year, being able to see each other face to face. But I would encourage you to come to office hours, contact your teachers, make sure you can kind of close out the year by talking to your friends and teachers that you will miss not seeing. So again, I am sorry about that. Glad that we could wrap up the year, but do your best in this assignment, and I'll see you in the end of the videos.